Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to We the People Prepping. This is Dan. Let's discuss the HR 127 bill that's on the table right now. That's been introduced to the Senate. I took the time to read through this bill, and oh my God, you talk about the ultimate gun grab. Okay, this bill has language in it. Basically, if you don't meet every single one of their specifications, you are to forfeit your gun. All firearms and ammunition to them. Okay, for instance, they require that you undergo a psychological evaluation that is through a approved psychologist, and the psychologist is to be approved by the Attorney General. Okay, now, if you have ever suffered from any depression or taken any antidepressant pills, or, anything along those lines, you would be disqualified from owning a firearm, getting a permit, and you would have to turn over all of your guns and ammo. So the part of this bill that really made me laugh was that they require that you would give the names of your spouse, your former spouses, your ex-wives and so forth, ex-husbands, and they would interview them. And if these people tell them that you are mentally unstable or that you're abusive in any way, shape, or form, that you would be disqualified from getting a license to own a firearm. And come on, how many of us have ex-wives or ex-husbands, for that matter, that would honestly not try to keep you from getting a firearm permit? My ex-wife and me, we're getting along now, but there was a point where she would have instantly went and told him, hey, look, he's psycho, he's unstable, he's this or that, and that would have disqualified me from owning a firearm. I'm sure there are many of you out there that are in the same boat. Sorry about that. That's my Qualcomm. But they also, there's a $800 fee. Okay. And then if you want to own any firearm that they consider assault style, you have to get a separate permit for that. Okay. So you got to pay an $800 fee. Then you got to get a separate permit for anything that they consider assault style, which they go into detail about assault style, and basically anything that holds over 5 rounds is considered assault weapon. Anything that would have a heat sink on it would be considered an assault weapon. Anything with a pistol grip handle that attached to it, would be an assault style weapon. ARs, of course, instantly assault weapon, but they're talking about SIGs and Berettas, and it's just, if you're able to attach a silencer or a bayonet, or if it's got a folding stock to your rifle, it's considered assault style. They go into a long list on this thing about what an assault rifle, an assault pistol, even revolvers. They have some revolvers that they're classifying as assault weapons. Okay. It's astounding. And basically, if they deem at any time that you because you have to renew this every few years, I think it's like every 5 years or something like that. But if at any time, you get put on psychotropic drugs or what I mean, like say that you're taking Prozac for anxiety, boom, you're disqualified. They want you to turn in your guns and your ammunition. If you don't, then you face prison time. You know, it's just, and they're going to keep a national registry of everybody and everything that they own, what ammunition they have, and they're going to make this a public registry. So everybody out here, you know, you want to know what your neighbor has, if he has a firearm or what, you know, you just go and type his name in and his address and all that, and it'll let you know what he has, where he keeps it, you know, all that kind of information. You have to let them know who you might loan your weapon to go hunting or whatever with. But they want to talk to your family members. I think they said at least 2 of your family members to see what they think about your ability to own a firearm. You know, so if you're having a falling out with, you know, like your brothers or whatever, and they said, well, no, he's not mentally stable or whatever. Well, there goes your firearms. It's just, I'm reading through this thing and I'm just like, wow. So basically, at any time that the government decides that you are not suitable to own a firearm, and there's many other reasons besides the mental, that they would disqualify you from ever owning a firearm, and that they would confiscate your gun. I mean, you really need to read this bill. And then you definitely need to get a hold of your congressmen, your senators, everybody, and tell them, hell no. We don't want this bullshit. This is an infringement on our Second Amendment rights, and this is illegal gun confiscation through legislation. You really, I mean, if you go in and you read this bill, it is really astounding, the language in here, that they can take away your right to bear arms at any given time for any given reason, basically, is what this bill amounts to. And then on top of that, you know, like I said, in order to own a firearm, it's $800 for the permit, and that's just for the regular firearm permit. You know, they're going to charge you if they consider it an assault weapon, so you might as well figure, you know, you're probably going to pay upwards of $2,000 for to own your firearm. Every few years you're going to have to renew that. You know, then on top of that, they require training, you know, for you to own a firearm. I mean, even if you are former military and you've been trained by the U.S. military on firearms, you still have to go through this training. You know, so now you got to pay for the training courses as well, and they have to be approved by, you know, the Attorney General. So basically, the Attorney General has the right to totally strip you of your Second Amendment rights at any given time for any given reason. You know, you farted in the wrong direction, or, you know, whatever. You know, the language in this alone should be a warning to everybody in this country as to they're going to legislate away your constitutional and God-given rights. Okay, so now if this passes, then what's next? They're coming after your First Amendment right as well. You know, you won't be able to say, I mean, it's already bad enough they're censoring us on everything that we say. You know, I mean, I logged into my personal Facebook account the other day, right? And as soon as I logged in, and now I haven't been on there in a while, as soon as I logged into it, it says that my account is under suspension for 3 days for a post that I made. Well, I was like, I haven't been on here in a while. What the hell are they talking about? They suspended my account over a post that I made 3 years ago. 3 years. Yeah. Okay. And the thing was, there wasn't anything bad in this whatsoever. Didn't show any nudity or nothing like that. But instantly, I mean, they did this to me all year last year. They were censoring my speech. If I made one post that was pro-Trump, or pro-life or anything like that. They censored my account and shut me down right before the election. They'd shut down my personal account for 30 days right before the election so that I couldn't post anything or anything like that. So I guess I am the Russian that was doing the collusion or whatever. I don't know, but anyhow, back to my subject here. Basically, if anybody has anything bad to say about you whatsoever, and they go to the Attorney General or call up the Attorney General, send them an email, whatever, with your name, address, and all that, you will lose your privilege or your right. Actually, it's not a privilege, it's your right to own a firearm. They will come out to your home. They will send ATF agents, according to this document. They would send ATF agents to your home to confiscate your firearm and ammunition if you haven't turned them in within like 30 days of the notice. Okay, so I mean, and they're not going to go for that, I lost my firearms in a boating accident story. I mean, we all know that. So your choices are right now to get a hold of everybody you can and tell them to say no on this, because it is an unconstitutional law. And if it passes, we all need to band together and take it, file a complaint with the Supreme Court, because this is an infringement on our constitutional and God-given rights. And if we fail there, then what are we left with? We are going to have to stand up and fight. That's all there is to it. Otherwise, they're just going to take away every right that we have. And, our Second Amendment constitutional rights defend all of our other rights that are in the Constitution. Without the Second Amendment, we cannot defend anything. Okay, they can shut us up, they can shut us down, they can imprison us, and there ain't a damn thing we could do to stop them, because we would be unarmed. I really do suggest that you go and you look this bill up online. It's available through congress.gov. It's just astounding, because I see nothing but infringement on a Second Amendment rights here by reading this bill. And I don't know what part of shall not be infringed they don't understand, because this whole entire bill is an infringement on your constitutional rights. It's just, wow. I was reading through this and it blew my mind, because they'll take away your constitutional right for any reason that they deem. Like I said, if you fart in the wrong direction, they'll come and take your firearms and your ammunition. So my suggestion to everybody is to fight back now while you still can. Because if you don't stand up and you don't fight now, we may not have a later. That's the whole point of what they're doing, is to take away everybody's way to defend themselves and to overthrow them, because they are tyrannical, and they become more and more tyrannical by the day. I was listening to the news earlier on several different news sources, and they had this one person, I don't remember which news source it was that I was listening to, but they said that most of America, I think they gave a number of 80% or something like that. Anyhow, said most of Americans approve of the way that Joe Biden's presidency has gone thus far, and approve of all the executive orders that he is writing. Okay, they approve of how he's handling it. They approve of the fact that he is not going through the legislative process that is required, but rather that he is just dictating to the American people what they will or will not do, what jobs will or will not remain, and what businesses will or will not remain open. Wow. I mean, this man is using the pen to govern just like any dictator would. For 4 years they claimed that Trump was a dictator and all this, but Trump never signed executive orders to take away your constitutional rights. Trump never signed executive orders to close down your job and take it away. The real dictators are in office right now. These are domestic terrorists. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, all of the Democrats in the Congress and Senate that are trying to pass all this stuff, they are the domestic terrorists in this country. They want to claim that those of us on the right that support the Constitution and so forth are the domestic terrorists, but we are not the ones to blame for the state of this country. That would be them. They are the ones that approved of all of the rioting and looting and burning of businesses and attacking of people, assault, verbal and physical assaults on people. They are the ones that were bailing these people out of jail after they'd been arrested. They're the ones that said that they want to do away with the police force so that private citizens wouldn't have protection. So who's really the domestic terrorist here? I mean, come on, Kamala Harris, she started a GoFundMe thing for these BLM and Antifa to bail them out of jail this past summer. I mean, that tells me right there where her loyalties lie. And it's not with the Constitution of the United States. It is with the bringing down of America, the crashing of our society. But anyhow, I'm going to end this video right here. My name's Dan. This is We the People Prepping. If you like my content, please hit subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down if it makes you happy. Share my content with your friends and family, neighbors, everybody you can. Let's get the word out here. People need to know what's really going on in this country. Okay, so I appreciate your time. This is Dan, and I will talk to you later. Y'all have a good night. God bless. Bye.